Позови меня с собой. Я приду сквозь злые ночи и отправлюсь за тобой, чтобы путь мне не пророчил. Приду туда, где ты нарисуешь в небе солнце, где разобитые мечты обретают снова силу высоты. Так.
To return in one.
There's a grave in here. We should get the power generator going again. Might cheer up the place.
They'll never see us.
Let's give these little fellas a wide berth, Captain.
Чуть питание.
Oh, I see you have activated your holographic shroud. A UDL vessel has been tracking our position and just recently...
I've been waiting for this day since we tagged your ship in Cascadia, Captain. Wait. Roger that. We'd hate to leave this location. That should have been fixed by now.
The UDL gunship is undocking from the station.
I ought to try talking more and fighting less. Seems like it saves on ammunition. That ain't no fun.
Step lively, Captain. Voice our teeth. They've been left here all alone.
Suppose Sublight will thank us for this. I hope that thanks comes in the form of cash. Chartrand is that scientist, right? From Cascadia?
Тупо чисто все сделали.
Please, would you kindly inform the crew that long chats with Ada. Are not required. We've arrived at the groundbreaker. I'll lock up behind you.
chose mock apple cider. A hard cider for a hard life.
Is it just... Shit. Oh. As the face of space... have a look.
CNP Mere Maple Syrup. Here's a sweet breakfast.
Тебе броню надо, кстати.
Finally, a base of our own. I heard about that. While my lawyers scratched their heads wondering, aside from the automated I knew it. I've been less than honest with you. After the Monarch job, I started connecting the dots. You and I have stumbled onto something big. I'm thinking more along the lines of this. Ask yourself why a skeleton crew was stood. Wrong. I think it's aliens. I'm talking about aliens. They're the ones responsible. I'm saying it's aliens. I'm not asking you to like it.
This doesn't... Right. I'm done. I'm officially tuned...
The crew is skeptical. That's good. I don't want you walk... You took that better than I... Dr. Chartrand is the crooked psychopath behind the gas experiments. She's a research scientist and a damn good one. Before UDL poached her. Now she's doing the same thing with humanity. Her It's cute that you... I just want to add savior of humanity to my resume. I've got ambitions outside... Do you usually come across innocent people trapped in suspension? Remember, the tanks were just the shit she left behind. Just a... We're far beyond theories. Chartrand's law. An invasion needs collaborators working from the shadows. This keycard will get you through the front door of... By now, the other side knows what you're doing. Don't trust...
Бредятина какая-то.
CNP, I can't believe it's not forced. It's unbelievable how good it is.
I believe I hear Felix and Parvati discussing the latest... We've arrived at Phineas's orbital lab. Captain, I wish to offer my commendations for convincing the UDL's gunship to leave HRS-1084. I did not favor the idea of being stripped and sold for parts.
You I'd clap you on the shoulder if I weren't behind a wall of bulletproof glass. I don't know how you did. According to Hiram's message, Minister Clark has ordered a suspicious amount of typical elitist hoarding supplies during a time of... So, good news. You're going to... If I had time and several blackboards, I could explain the details to you, but the chemical is absolutely essential to reviving the Hope's colonists. I need you. If you don't bring me enough chemicals, I might not be able to save the Hope's colonists. Oh, I understand it must seem impossible to you. Infiltrate Byzantium, the crown, in order to do the impossible. Ah, yes, the details. I'm not about to ask you to rampage through Byzantium trading bullets with the board's agents. We'll have to resort to subterfuge. I'm giving you my old nav key to Byzantium. You'll need it to land it. Remember, you're looking for dimethyl sulfoxide. Big You can trust her if that's what you're asking. Imagawa is the finest special agent in...
Так, стоп.
Some crew members are causing a disturbance. We are now in orbit above Byzantium, Captain.
В космосе. Приземлиться в Византии.
I understand we have
Can we
decided to
talk?
continue supporting the...
Since we're in Byzantium, there's... I haven't actually talked... Anyway, it's probably about time I paid... What? I'm just suggesting we stop... See, I'm originally from Byzantium, born and raised... Yeah. And, It's, well... They know me as Marilyn the Surgeon. But you're authentic rabble. Come on, I didn't leave home and become a pirate because I enjoy making Great! If you've got an outfit you haven't washed in a while... Oh, and... Just anything... What did I tell you? His down with the man... Obviously not, and better for Felix to know that... Don't get all mushy on... People look out for their own interests. It's a fundamental law of nature. See, this is what I like about you. You may not be from here, but you're not helping this scientist because you think that crackpot... You're right. The point is that self-interest is like self-pleasure. No one wants to... Enough... Anything. I sure hope you negotiated... Then we'd better hope he doesn't... In either case, the board's put a bounty on his head, and they've got... I've got no love for the corporation. Don't think of it as being a lackey. Think of it as... I know you want to save the day, but don't forget to look after... Don't mention any...
still tinkering with that?
It's not gonna fix it.
Пройти.
Someone needs to teach those iconoclasts a lesson for what they did to our gunship.
Пионер, пенсионер. Чего, бред?
Can't do it.
Why can't something exciting happen around here for once?
Nothing wrong with stability. It means everything's running.
Так.
Hey, you. Yeah, you. Kid, you got presents. Tell you what. Listen, you got an agent? Fresh, natural. Listen, you got a real special. I'm making a feature. Space Pirates of Mars.
Not so fast.
Let's just see. So what do you...
Давай сгоняем ради прикола.
According to local legend, if you walk around the orrery 3 times, your corporate rival will die of a paper cut.
Decadence ain't gonna save you.
Looking for weapons?
Там пойдем.
I'm afraid I can't come down here.
All right, how does this sound? Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to walk into you like that.
Dawn Pictures.
For all auditions, please use the elevator on the left.
My cousin's in pictures. That business makes piracy look civil.
Great! You made it! Listen, I know you're expecting a script. See? Now go in.
Well, here to stop all of this settlement CNP hungry with their patented stomachs. What an unexpected twist.
Can I shoot someone? Wait, doesn't matter.
Do you remember the last time we faced each other? The Battle of Axis? Hey, I didn't write this. I had you surrounded and outgunned. I've been waiting. Yes, even.
This what passes for entertainment around here? They ought to try tossing back a Spectrum Red and going rapt hunting. So
Hey, no one told me we were giving critics. I have this whole port wired with some mic. Once we're away, I'll activate the gam. And I spent 3 hours. I hope you've paid your burial fees and signed your... I refuse to work like this. To the break room, everyone.
Cut! That was interesting, kid. Real novel take.
Понятно.
Hey, listen, I appreciate... Look, here, take this for making the trip down here. Don't call up.
Рождение звезды, ачивка. Сыграть роль в фильме Dawn Pictures. Не, ну норм, чё. Где лифт-то уже?
Rizzo's knock you out bar.
Citizens, today marks a monumentous occasion in the course of Halcyon history. After a deep and thorough examination of our budgets, revenue streams...
Sure, they look fancy, but inside, there's my parents' place. Smell that? Industrial-grade cleaning.
Вместе Фэнхилл.
Marilyn is...
Lost. And I didn't expect you to renew your marriage contract. Speaking of surprises... There you go again, Cap. Anyway, you're probably one...
Not...
The last few years have been a bloody... Right? Yep.
Marilyn...
You tell him. We'll stay as long as we like. And while we're at it, we'll... Just a sec. You had the floors redone with real Terran marble?
That's what we've been trying to tell you, dear, but...
We thought you were dead. I'm not dead. I just never wanted to...
I'm afraid the distinction...
We only did what any grieving parents in our position. We collected on your life insurance.
And the payouts have...
What vulgar company you keep.
Well, now that I'm here, I get...
It's not that simple. For one thing, we...
Why did you do that?
We had to explain it.
We couldn't very well tell people you'd... Shh.
We concocted a story about Celeste Jollycurl designing a pair of 12-inch heels for you.
One of a kind.
That led to your dread.
It was quite the story.
You're supposed to be... Couldn't you have at least made up a better... And what are you gonna do?
Yes,
Quietly. She hasn't changed a bit, I see.
That's it? You just...
don't call...
Let's just get out of here, Captain. Fine. Let's talk outside. Captain, got a minute? Can you believe? We'd hardly been there a minute and they turned us out. But not like I wanted. They'd both be sitting there watching. Mother would drop her mock apple cider, and the glass would shatter all over their I'd have a great one-liner in the tube. I was thinking either the leather's fake, but the scars are real. Father would throw his hands up because this... Then Mother would do the old, you... I'm not hurt. I just didn't want to get booted out of the house I grew up in like that. It's... Hey, the last thing I want to do is sit around... Wait a sec. I could open a new account, designate that account holder as a sole beneficiary. I'll make money without doing a thing. As long as I don't develop a taste for Woolgonzola and bad legal dramas, that's fine. My policy is with the Greater Halcyon Insurance Group. Maybe you could use some of your peep. If that doesn't work, I'm sure. I shipped with a merc who had a gun like yours, Nyoka. He polished it, sang to it, slept with it. Not like that, as far as I know.
Sounds like he had himself a discerning palate. Where are you going with this?
I'm on my legally allotted...
He couldn't hit the broadside of an assault cruiser, hence the tin shredder.
Wouldn't be the first man I met bearing compensation for his lack of skill.
Tiny sauce made with real atmospheric contaminants from powders.
I guess we're going to Fallbrook.
Так, блядь.
I only wish they weren't showing so...
Пипец, блядь.
Spacer's Choice Zero G Brew. An ale that's good for what ails you.
Hortense yells at me about big...
Чего у вас так воды здесь мало?
If I never smell another Wrapped, it'll be too soon.
Weren't you a Sawbones? Figured you ought to have smelled worse.
Sure, but those things reek like bad cologne. It's different.
I'm with you there. At least humans have the courtesy to wait a while before their bodies start. If we took apart and sold this place, bet we'd get a year of food out of it.
Так, а где вход в лабу? А. Тёмыч, привет. Чё, кого, чё, как?
That's top of the line.
That's far enough. What are you doing?
If anyone ever tries to off me, I hope they do.
Hagen. I've never heard of her. This is utter nonsense. I've never even been... What happened to the team? Tell me you did... I'll tell you everything, just don't hurt them. Too many people have been harmed on my account.
Взял, отложи так. Клёво.
What are you doing, Doctor? This information is beyond...
You can write me up in your report. I'm researching a new way to feed the colony. The crops we transplanted from Earth don't give... It seems I have you to thank for... The food we grow here barely sustains human life. The colony won't last under these conditions. So, I believed that I could adapt humans to live on Halcyon's terms. That I could change us. Give it... Look around. We're the only Not for lack of trying. I wouldn't allow us to experiment on convicts or the unemployed. It's wrong, no matter what the law says. Everyone... I'm desperate. I've already asked all the best institutes on Earth for help.
Да я нормально.
Years ago, we
Первый
sent a
выходной.
message out
Что у
on the
меня 3
Cornelius
выходных
Vanderbilt,
выпало.
but heard nothing back. It's been missing for over 2 years now. They never re-established contact.
Imagine losing something with that many guns on it.
That ain't a shock. Bored folks will lie to their own mothers if...
The board is uneasy about letting the colony know, seeing as half of their... I'd prefer if you didn't use my name when you talk about this. Once we can replicate a success, the board will move to rewire our nucleon. With any luck, our next generation will be eating and thriving off halcyon crops.
Knowing what the board considers a success, that doesn't...
Fuck that. People are people, and ought to stay the way they were born.
We haven't made enough strides to advance the plan. You came to kill me. I assume that's still... If I die, there's... The one on the wanted poster? I'll do...
Doctor!
What choice do I have, Commander? Alien conspiracy? I need to get out of here. For now, I'd better pack up the lab and head somewhere discreet.
Not so fast. Captain, what you just learned is beyond... Give me one...
I got the drop on it.
Ooh. Я думал, он один тут.
I hope Dr. Wells has the resources to handle this project.
Нет, это все понятно, то что нам клили Хаген, она хер знает где. Ладно, давай по сюжету продвинемся, если меня сейчас здесь не расхерачит. Да, видел. Честно, я уже давно не слежу, мне как-то вот неинтересно. Сколько там заразилось, сколько не заразилось, ну, на самом деле вот.
Don't rub it in.
Oh, don't get all prickly. I just haven't met someone who left the highlight on purpose.
I'm from there, but I'm not really from there, if you follow.
What's gone into Bachmeyer?
Коронавирус, не коронавирус. Один хуй все им переболеем. Кто-то помрет, кто-то нет. Кого закроют? Толку-то? Не помогает это закрытие. Не помогает. Так, подожди.
But what would they be doing here?
Так, подожди. Карта. Так, быстрее будет.
Do you mind? I'm meeting someone. Shh. The Phoenix is a wanted man, and the board has eyes everywhere in Byzantium. Yeah. That. Oh. I'm Golden Eagle. Yeah. I named you Cuckoo. That doesn't even make fun.
Does this mean I'm supposed to have one too?
Let's go with Rufus Hummingbird.
Forget it. Codename's
too late. I've already marked it off. Can't just go.
This cloak and dagger stuff is nonsense, but if everyone else gets a code name, I want one too.
You can be Cassowary.
That's shockingly apt. Cassowaries were
aggressive little creatures too. Anyway, you're looking to make contact with Minister... Magpie, right? I should warn you, it won't be easy. He spends most of his time in his estate. Afraid not. He almost never leaves. Whoa, I'm not one of your B&E special. Some of the guards hang around Billingsley's House of Inebriation between shifts. Maybe you could do some reconnaissance there. Just remember, you didn't... I've always been fascinated by birds.
All of them trying to eat you, I'd wager.
The other thing about... Exactly. I started thinking about every... For starters, you rarely come across anyone living in Byzantium who wasn't born here.
Trust me, anyone with a lick of sense gets out of here as soon as possible.
But most people don't. In fact, most people stay exactly... Doesn't that... And then there's the way nothing gets fixed. There used to be a suggestion box around here. People would drop ideas in. Sure, that part is. That's why they install shredders in those boxes. But one day the shredder broke. No one came to fix it. And since it wasn't working... At first, management put up an out-of-order sign. But that just seemed to worry people. They eventually took the whole suggestion box sign down so that people didn't have it. But they never fixed it, never replaced it. Except that's not how they go. At least that's not how they're...
If things are broken here, of all places...
Things have kept on running this long, right? The whole episode made me wonder, if they can't fix something as simple as a suggestion box... After a while, I got connected with our mutual friend and... Good hunt.
Господи, мне только что вынесли мозг. Так, охранник министра в питейке, по-моему, мимо которой мы только что прошли, да?
The dissidents actually took over.
Spacer's choice. It's not the best choice. It's the Spacer's choice.
Hey! Stand back! Of course not. The others took me out to celebrate on it. He's basically the most important person. That means I got a key to the minister's... Yep, I've nearly made it to the top, my friend. That's a great... Oh. Everyone tells me he's very private, okay?
И Биошок, и этот... Mass Effect чуть-чуть. Так, бармен.
Have you tried our new cocktail? Then... Quite so, but I would never... Maverick Johnston's about to release his...
Так, Подожди. А, фу, ёпта.
Please allow me to improve your...
И там водка была. О, да, красная спектр. Давай. Братан, давай, накатим.
Oh.
В смысле?
Please... Requested you...
Hey.
А то есть, в смысле, оранжевая, она не спектральная, а красная спектральная. Ну ладно.
Here. Wow, listen to me. I'm... Oh.
Please...
Давай еще пузырь.
Hey.
It's
not every day you get your... Wow, you've got like this crazy energy. I got
only 2.
Have you always... I really shouldn't. I'll have the...
Nonsense. You've got another in you.
Yes, I can. Yeah. Was that one supposed to taste like purple very... I don't...
Чувак, походу, стругануть пошел. Спасибо, друг. Потом Bioshock Infinite, это Лока напоминает, напоминает, во.
What was it like being one of them top runners?
Hey, my parents and their gold-shitting friends are top rungers, not
А
me.
вот и я.
It wouldn't shock me if those fluffed up hull heads actually did pass gold.
They've got pills for that, and that's not even the weirdest thing.
This property is off limits. So this ultimatum, that's funny. The minister isn't expecting visitors, and you don't much look like one of those couriers. Minister...
Так, пойдем. Посылку заберем. Погоди. Камуфляж снимем. Нам временно не нужен.
Была.
Ну, естественно, да. Давай, давай, иди. И...
Burning the midnight oil. Welcome to... We do... You're not an official member. Oh, I'd have to submit a request for... Couldn't say. We've got a backlog and I'm planning on retiring in the next... You're welcome to lodge a complaint in our suggestion box. Actually, no. You do that? Wow. Hey, here's your parcel to be delivered to Mr. Clark, Minister. Lost speed.
Казалось бы, можно просто поговорить. Пришел такой, например, в Яндекс доставку, да, открыл дверь сзади. Такой, говоришь, я за доставкой к министру. Он такой, ну да, конечно, на.
I ever tell you about this one patient?
Что ты,
One of her eyebrows
что
moved up
ты?
and the tip of her nose raised.
What? Why? Was she trying to disguise herself?
По-любому голый
She on the
стоит.
run or something?
So she'd always be looking down on everyone.
There's nothing to see. Ma'am, please don't.
I want you to know.
Do you have any action? Yeah? All right.
Нормас, я так зашел. С вертухи.
Someone needs to teach those iconoclasts a lesson.
How did you get in here? You!
So this is one of the...
If this is about another Aetherwave clip or... Slowly and loudly, Aloysius, that's the only... I said! Then that means... But what are you... Drugs. Back? I don't have any drugs. You should try...
I don't know if our chemicals are here, but this guy...
Oh dear, I don't... Of course. It's Rockwell again. Who else? And I thought he was only holding... Chairman Rockwell. He's kept me under house arrest for years. I've long suspected...
Yeah, sure. It's always someone else who ordered the...
Please, this is... Whatever it is that brought... After seeing this place, is it really a stretch? I've been confined to this... Whatever Rockwell's doing, he'll be doing it from the HHC headquarters. Your best lead...
This colony's problems have always seemed to trickle down from the top. If we're set on fixing Halcyon, that's as good a place as any to start.
Exactly.
We really gonna do this? Getting involved?
This is about more than bits. This is about the... Why, this is starting to sound like an issue of... Via the Acropolis district, of course. That's where the most important... But only board employees are allowed in... There might be a route through the maintenance tunnels, but I'm afraid... When you reach the HHC building, this access card should get you up to the executive suites, where the chairman's office and what used to be... Oh, I haven't been allowed up there in... A gilded minibar, perhaps? A personal theater? The board's lackeys are none too bright. I simply claimed I'd lost it and hid it somewhere no one would think to look. I merely hid it in a book. No one reads anything longer than a few pages around here. There are a few advantages to... Wait! Rockwell has one of the only terminals capable of Please, take this and transmit it from his office. Rockwell hasn't given me any messages from Earth for years, but they need to know what's... What isn't? I've gathered meeting minutes, internal messages, sustainability reports, and more. All... Once the rest of the Earth Directorate sees it...
You're awful trusting for a guy...
The Earth Directorate is our best hope. Even Rockwell's resources are... Perhaps there is hope. And now I entrust it to you.
Фига себе. Как этот просто. На секретной службе, как Джеймс Бонд, блядь. Пробраться, взломать терминал. Охуеть не встать.
Oh, there. That's one right there. Can't you just see the stench of it? How splendid. Why, just this morning I thought to myself, and here you are. Forgive me if my manners don't live up to the standards of an interloper who... Honestly, what is the board thinking? I earned my place here, just like everyone else. My grandfather was the CIO at Tile, you
Зайти
see.
и выйти делов на 20 минут.
I just told you. My grandfather. Of course it is. Wealth is the most visible, objective measure of success. And if you have wealth, you're successful. Chief Idea Officer. He came up with all the best ideas for their product. Well, he described the idea of it to their font development team, then picked it from a list of choices, but that's basically the same thing. It was a... Let's see. He picked the colors they included in rainbow chips. No one... And you know how the Cosmic Smokes logo has an eye in the middle of a heptagon? He was a true... Yo, now... What's wrong? This city is meant for us. The system's fine. But now we are overrun. The worst thing to happen to Halcyon. A contest that gives even the lowliest to most by simply winning a lottery, those early retirees get an exclusive district of possession. Oh, by the law. It's not right. I deserve to see any... You know, you look like you've been shot at before.
Beat standing around and...
Yes. Listen, what is that person's job exactly? Well, it doesn't matter.
Личный ходячий
You think
подлокотник.
this is a fabulous arrangement, and you'd be thrilled. Did you miss the part where I said I'd pay you? Better than the thrill of discovery. Like in... Fantastic. Consider your... I hear the chosen retirees all enter the retirement district via the port landing pad. Unless, of course, you had a wealthy, beautiful benefactor of impeccable social pedigree. These codes will get you past the lockdown. Oh, and don't worry about subtlety. The same way anyone gets... Bits might earn you a place in Byzantium, but for favors like this, you need to spend...
Господи, сколько лишнего спама.
The Acropolis...
You could have asked me, you know.
What in the laws... Honest mistake. Yeah, and I'd really like a new hammersmith, and seeing it... Hey, I've been trying to get a post at the HHC, but anyway... You're new to the ministry? You one of those lab...
Стимулации.
That was yours? So you start tomorrow, huh? But then you had to wait 6 to 8... Yeah...
Как я тебя наебал.
I never could have handled the desk job.
Вот поэтому я и люблю в таких играх прокачивать болталку.
Hawk one on the floor.
Welcome to the official headquarters of the Halcyon Holdings Corporation Board.
Сколько
Today's
тянет?
reading is brought to you by Auntie Cleo, a subsidiary of Polway Pharmaceuticals.
State your business. Please step away. Huh. I'll just need you to register your... You don't have... Look, you don't have time to wait on new forms. And I can't afford the citations for impeding HAC business. So I'm going to save us both some trouble and... Just know there are a bunch of guards upstairs, and they're all high on dervish mist and low...
Да, конечно. Локо вот это прям вылитый этот... как он? Bioshock Infinite. Ну, в целом.
Apologies for the personal assistant. Oh, will there...
Так, ну естественно нас туда не пустят, да?
Just a moment.
You could.
О, кино даже показывают.
I'm Chairman Rockwell, and I'm here to address a serious issue facing us. As you all know, our colony has been successful beyond our wildest dreams. Unfortunately, we've recently discovered that our food supply will not be able to sustain Halcyon's population in the long term. Everyone will die. Everyone will slowly stop living from malnutrition. But we're doing it together, and that's what matters. I fucking swear, if someone doesn't give me something to read that will placate the masses soon, all of you will find yourselves violently unemployed. But I can assure you there's nothing to fear. We've got a solution. It's called the Lifetime Employment Program. We will freeze most of the colony to preserve resources, while the best and brightest of Byzantium continue living in prosperity. Look, you idiots! How many times do I have to tell you we can't say shit like that? Fire whoever wrote this! While Halcyon's brightest minds solve the problem of our nutritional shortage, the rest of the colony will be placed in suspended animation. Individuals will be revived on a rotating basis, so that every Halcyonite can be part of the important work of saving our colony. By testing paperweights. Sorry, couldn't resist. Let's go again. And someday, in the not-too-distant future when we've solved this crisis, we'll all be back together again working for the good of Halcyon. Until then, the board shall provide for the deserving just as it always has. So, obey your supervisors, take your vitamins, follow your corporate-mandated grooming rituals, and rest assured with the board on your side, there is nothing to worry about.
Ачивка, вот это поворот. Узнать шокирующую правду о колонии. Так. Блять, я уже даже не знаю, что вкачать. Правда.
I thought it was just Monarch.
I don't know about you, but I'm all for living fast and dying young.
I beg your pardon, Minister Clark's... What?
Кто покосился на ваши канцелярские принадлежности. Так, кто у нас последний должен быть в этой... В команде-то? 5 я нашел, 6-го нету. Так, а что это? Квест есть. Зачем его вызывать обратно с пенсии? Подожди. Карта. Это у нас... Это у нас, по-моему, где-то это. Где-то вот здесь должно быть. Робота на корабле. А там робот есть? Серьезно?
That's the last of them.
to the Halcyon Holdings Corporation Early Retirement Center. You, the lucky few, have been selected to spend the rest of your days living the high life in your own private district. When you arrive, you'll be whisked away to your very own luxury penthouse, furnished exclusively by 24/7 Furniture's deluxe Falscowood collection.
Что-то вид стен мне говорит о том, что там сейчас какая-нибудь жесть будет. Второму-то. А, понял.
Nope, nope, not having this. I've lived through too many marauder ambushes in my life to die by a trap built by corporate pencil pushers.
Так.
Processing unacceptable data.
Что-то я вангую здесь просто. Их собирают и... Ор какой-то должен быть. Блокирует. А. Что там пофигу на меня вообще?
Security threat unexpected.
Требитель шприц. Я так понял, суперэлитный санаторий для ветеранов. Знаешь, я думаю, все по заветам этого обиженного австрийского этого художника здесь происходило. Блять, что так? Блять, я что, просто так что ли вкачивал? В смысле? Хрень какая-то вообще. Пошли к гортензии.
Byzantine life seems awful cushy. Could get myself used to kicking back for a spell.
It's all paperwork, ass-kissing, and stuffy parties where everyone eats too much.
I must admit, I'm getting a certain thrill out of our little arrangement.
Советус.
What? You mean it's brilliant to take the most burdensome... Why? And how else would I react? A vagrant such as yourself. But regardless of your ignorance, Of course. In any event, while I'm...
Ну пошла ты в жопу, профорсетка, надо было тебя туда отправить. Шпрыса. Так. Куда нам тут? Куда-то вниз на 40 метров.
Not so fast.
It's a...
I don't care if you're a brain surgeon. If you don't...
Worth a try.
Like I said... I don't know how you got that, but I still don't... What are you talking about? What? There's no way. Whoa, go on through.
Болталка решает. Блять, все такое крутое, лифты такие пососные. Даже без кнопок. У вас тут что творится?
Nothing exciting ever happens around here.
Серьезно?
What? What was that? No visitors allowed. Let me guess. We've talked to... Just get out of here.
Супер близкий друг. А то срезали. Пизду. Заберем все. В морал фага, что ли, играть собрался? Нет, кстати, механика это прикольная. С плащом-невидимкой. Вот этим вот. Так. Нам надо к Финиасу, да? Жизнь доктора Чартранд. Создать для Элли фиктивный счет получателя. Это нам надо полететь. Конечно, надо отремонтировать его, да?
Captain, Felix and the vicar are arguing again.
Слушай, по-моему, я на что-то такое натыкался, а вот...
You have a message from Adjutant.
No one ever looks quite the same in person as they do in my reports. And my reports of you have been exceptional. I've been keeping up with you ever since Emerald Vale. Now that was an interesting piece of work. When you cut off power to Edgewater, you saved me a great deal of trouble. All this happened because you have something I want. Phineas Wells is wanted by the... He has a litany of charges against him. Wells is a dangerous madman. You're in contact with Wells. Don't worry about... Wells was our mistake. I'm sending you my access code. Contact me...
Adjutant, a con... Welcome back, Cap. How... The unit is a cleaning SAM. Hawthorne brought it on board some cycles ago, I'm sure with the intent to modify it. Alex likely recorded progress notes detailing his... If you check the terminal in your captain's quarters... Goodbye.
Так.
If you don't mind my saying, Captain, Minister Clark is lucky to have you on his side.
С кислотой. Так. Я думаю, надо сделать перерыв на обновление чая.
No blockade is a match for my piloting skills.
Сейчас вернусь. Так. Так. Отлично, отлично. Погнали, сделаем квест на него.
We're now in orbit above Roseway, Captain.
Нам надо достать баг, да? Слушай, я, по-моему, тут был. Бачок.
Here we go.
Easy.
Did you bring me anything? New parts? Last weekend's crossword puzzle? Preferably not already filled out this time.
Блять, мне корабль этот нравится.
Initiating initialization sequences. Would you like to registering SAM units live?
Так. А, блядь. С ним не вариант ходить, да? У меня фобия на него. Так. Что вкачать-то?
Issuing sanitation ticket. Air. Thank you. All cleaning all SAM units travel. Got stubborn stain.
Так, один за всех, да? Нанять всех напарников. Ну, у меня, блять, я не знаю. Тифобия и робофобия у меня есть.
The groundbreaker has approved our request for docking, Captain. You're free to disembark.
Я только не помню, у меня последний квест спутников у этой остался или еще у кого-то есть.
Rizzo's lemon slap. Slap your whole family tonight.
Is it done? Well, damn. Contractor grew a conscience. Technically, I owe you an exit interview. Oh, sure. I'll get out of my office.
This is...
I like her, Captain.
Что там? Субсвет в конце тоннеля. Завершите задание субсвета. Так, а где у нас это?
CNP burst pockets can be microwaved in 2.5 seconds.
Bay. Rest and Gold. Оказывается, для квеста у нее надо одну херню купить. Сломанный этот. Разбитый датапад. Картридж, по-моему. Квест оружие бездны.
Rizzo's a salt sour candy shell around a sweet purple berry.
Пипец, блять.
Flavored center.
Дороговато стоит прокачать.
I believe I hear Felix and Parvati discussing the latest Aetherwave serial.
Научное оружие на Сцилле. Давай.
Destination reached. Scylla.
Там высадились. Бля, сука, я квест не переставил. Может, я и там высадился. Да. Сука.
If you stop in the engine room, Destination reached. Scylla.
Размажу лепешку. Бля, это было больно. Мандибулярный преобразователь. Мандибулы преобразовывают. Так, хорошо.
Crew members Ellie and Max are engaged.
Так, теперь нам надо на монарх.
We're now in orbit above Stellar Bay, Captain.
У нас тут два задания. Stellar Bay, все, он покинутый, да?
In case I did not.
Да ты ж прыса. Даже поговорить западло.
Hey, sorry about your folks, Ellie.
I'm just sorry I forgot to search the liquor cabinet before we left.
Don't worry about me, Cap.
My boy says he'll only stay a few days before we...
Мандибулы преобразовывает в бритые. Сейчас, секунду.
Hey, Cass. Knock, knock. My dry goods come. No rub.
Интересное дерьмо. Нам нужна ключ-карта. А где ее взять? Хуй его знает, да? Ага. Допустим. Прогуляться по одному из множества супермаркетов компании, реализующих товар для вещей. Что там за оружие? Гелевая пушка ВОК. Так, у нас на этой планете еще одно оружие есть. Каскадии, я так понимаю. Так, в Каскаде. Лаборатория, ёптать. Тебе не хуй собачий. Там, сука, тут я тоже был. Гипнотический луч. Задание выполнено. Так. 19. Уровень 28. Надо будет вкачать его, что ли. Крестовый поход в ад. Еще и портнуться нельзя. Так, значит, нам что надо? Дневник. В Полбруке я был же, по-моему. Разве нет? Зайти в страховую компанию, сделать липовый счет.
You seen Arthur today?
This looks like...
I see your... Note that all of your fragments must be... I remember that one. That's the...
Of course, no one remembers me for the Marauders.
That claim was airtight. Our
Are you...
Well, we interviewed the parents...
Hey!
Furthermore, the claim spurred a whole line of fashion-related policies. It's You can't, of course, if we let every friend... Oh, you mean... Well, hypothetically, you'd access the term... And you'd... But you wouldn't... Please, my policy only covers paper cuts and wrist strain.
Только порез бумаги, туннельный синдром.
But then you've got to go. I'll need the name of the... If... The payouts will flow exclusively into the new account at the start of the month. I hope Ms.
I need a word. You really did? I've never been prouder. I'm just glad my folks aren't gonna live off that awful story they made up. Sure. You did my job. Could have fooled me with... You sure? Because my kind of... Yeah. Still, maybe you've got a... So... Don't mention it. Really.
Так, и, видимо, это... После смерти. Затраты на подкуп 50%. Так, стоп, получается, я, значит, не все. У кого-то я, значит, не выполнил квест.
A reminder to all crew members. There is only one toilet on... We've arrived at Phineas's orbital lab.
В команде у меня все. Это я точно выполнил. Это точно. Это точно. Это точно. Под вопросом Парвати и Сэм. Или Парвати, или хер его знает. Как правильно.
I've kept myself busy in your absence. All I need now. What? Oh, yes, well, that's obvious. Why do you think we've been Hold on. Let me see if I understand this correctly. I always knew Halcyon was heading toward a systems collapse, but I never imagined we were all... That's not a plan. That makes two things we don't have. None of this was supposed to happen. I was supposed to revive the hopes... Human test... Thank you. You've brought me enough chemicals to get started. Those poor people... You say the board's trying to freeze their subjects over and over again without inflicting permanent damage. I'll tell you this much. The board scientists are... We're out of time. We're out of chemicals. Do you realize what this means for the Hope? For your fellow colonists? The board... Short of lining up every member of... Do you know what's waiting for us on the Hope? Scientists. The board's going to dispose of them all. We need to get to those colonists before the board. I have enough chemicals to start reviving... versa. We bring the hope to us. Skip the entire ship across... Yes, exactly. If we link up the hope to the unreliable, then use your nav...
I've got a healthy disregard for personal safety, but...
Your instincts are correct. By any reasonable definition of you'll need to switch on the hope's auxiliary power using the unreliable. Then head... Once you've skipped the hope next to my lab, I'll have easy... I know you're wondering why I'm doing all this. Why I believe the people on the Hope are the answer to the colony's problems. The Hope is carrying some of humanity's most brilliant thinkers, scientists, engineers, experts in their field. If we work together, the board would have us believe Halcyon is beyond saving. You absolutely should. The adjutant must have sent you some kind of tracking code. If you don't, I think you should use the code and send a corrupted... The board's going to catch up to me sooner or later. This way I'll have time. Use my... Certainly.
«29-й левел». Я даже не знаю.
That should do it. You've bought me more than enough time.
Алик-Ади. Но мне просто интересно, чей квест я, блядь, пропустил.
Dead center. Next round's on you.
Hey, Captain. I was thinking about what you said before. I think I'm ready to stop fretting, and I was kind of hoping... The thing is, I can't ask her over, like... I smell like sweat most days, and, well, don't look too close at my fingernails. I mean, only if you're not busy. Anyhow, next time...
Can we talk? So we're really... I've seen lots... Do you... Something tells me you're the first person to ever utter... I think this whole plan's insane. Speaking of, I get that Phineas... I'll do anything for a good story. And nothing shines... But I... Come on, Captain. Still, all this depends on the other Hope colonists. Are they gonna pull us... You're too trusting, and I'm gonna... Well, whenever you're ready... Any...
Hey,
Так. Загугль.
Captain, I hope Dr. Wells has not dragged you into one of his irrational... You have a message from...
I'm impressed, Captain. Unfortunately, Dr. Wells found a way to corrupt the signal before we could... Come visit me in Byzantium. We need to have a talk about the future of this colony. Meet me in my office.
Adjutant Akande has ended her call. Rather...
Так, подожди. Как раз сейчас со мной поговорил это. Порватель. И он танчит. Репутация выпущена. Коллеги, к нам теперь нейтральное отношение. Чтобы мы могли их как бы это... Да, вот, задание напарника. Не кусайте солнце.
Sending a corrupted tracking signal to the Groundbreaker has approved our request for docking, Captain. You're free to disembark.
Так, тебя мы брать не будем, возьмем тебя. Ванные принадлежности. Оу май.
Rizzo's Purpleberry Punch. You want a punch? We've got your punch right here.
This is Halcyon.
If you're here... I think I got just the thing, my dear. Few high-grade shampoo.
What?
Cleaning around your nails, sweetheart. Gets the engine. Most folk don't got the time. Or bathtubs for such. Me included.
Oh, gosh. We never talked about...
It comes down to what sort of intent you got. Now, if I was a young thing trying to come on all precious-like, I'd probably go with rosish. Take your time, dear.
We didn't have anything rosish in Edgewater.
I'll just wrap that...
I'll pay for that, ma'am.
You're welcome.
I hope this fancy soap we got is extra strength. In her messages, Junlei said her mama used to make this dish for Monarch. And then for dessert, there's a thing... There's gotta be some place in Stellar Bay that can bake a casserole. And I heard tell there's a Rizzo's town near there called Cascade. Thanks, Captain. I know I'm asking.
Что-то тупой квест. Так. Найдите кексы-сердечки, купите запеканку с изнанки. Будем мотаться по всей галактике. Искать кексики и запеканку. Романтика.
Captain, if you're looking for crew...
Блин.
We're now in orbit above Stellar Bay, Captain.
Грохнуться недолго. Карта. Пипец, блядь. Такой хуйню я только не занимаюсь в этой игре, блядь. Кекс-сердечко. Группа вокруг Навального. Я за кексом-сердечко.
Aren't those cakes just about the cutest little things you ever seen? I'm real sorry about your friends, Nyoka. Ain't no one deserves to go like that. Certainly not folks just alive.
Thanks for saying that. You know, after seeing so much...
Whoa, by the stars, my poor... Besides... Where should I begin? The board was right. That was a real popular meal 10, 20 years. These days, everybody's had a belly full of salt tuna. I can whip one up for you.
Oh.
You got it. I got all the ingredients. Should only take about an hour in the oven. There we are. Now, if you don't mind, I really need to take a leak. A pleasure.
Конечно, за 3 куска.
The dust back casserole Mr. Raymond made smells incredible. Now look how cute these cakes from Cascadia are. Well, I was gonna, but I got this nice meal all planned out with music. I don't have a head for fashion, and I can't... There's this place I heard of in Byzantium. Jolliker... Thanks.
Блять, еще и за шмотками лететь. Да ты охренел, блядь, ковырялка поганая. Ладно, мне все равно туда надо.
Some crew members are causing a... We are now in orbit above Byzantium, Captain.
Чего не сделаешь ради ачивки, а?
I love Byzantium.
You with the... Don't speak. Hold the way you rest your weight to... Your walk. I'm Celeste Jolliker, and you... I'm an artist. I'm working on a new line of clothing that will... Marvelous! You... What I need is a...
Да-да-да-да.
My dear, I'll need you to model for me the following. The apparel of an iconoclast. And when I say spacer gear, I mean an outfit worn by... You have the bearing and demeanor of a book.
You don't gotta be so forward about...
Let me get a good... My word. Such...
I am no such thing, ma'am.
Nonsense, you're absolutely lovely. Let me do a back of the envelope. Love? That's the...
I don't get what...
Oh, my chick. All right, Captain. Darling, I read. There are some things I simply... Now stand back. Back! And there we are, my darling girl. I wish you a...
What?
I wish you weren't so shy, my Violet. You... If I were an enterprising space...
Oh, can you believe this outfit? Well, I guess... You know, there's a part Junlei's been looking... I know. Next time we dock with Groundbreaker, I'm doing it. Oh, this is real scary.
Так, надо на корабль, да? Притом ачивок, знаешь, таких довольно-таки бредовых.
Crew members Ellie and Max.
I swear, next time we put... Oh, you mean Sam? Nah, but I've been thinking on one. It ain't nice. Of course, that don't...
Надо уже этот квест добить. Надеюсь, это будет последний квест.
Destination reached. The Groundbreaker.
All right. Oh, my...
О, слушай, а тут всякие ништяки появляются. С прохождения квестов.
Anyhow, so I told him, Dad, I'm a big girl now. I ain't need your help. I can do it on my lonesome.
What did he say to that?
Понятно, надо шмот найти, да?
Windows lemon slap. Slap your whole family tonight.
This is Halcyon News. We interrupt.
Космик.
Great. Wanna...
70%. Нормально. Братан, где мне взять такой прикид?
Feels like the ace didn't quite... Glass year. Huh? What? Huh? Of course.
Где взять шмот?
I sold it.
That mod...
You want to bust my chops?
Please don't mind her. Everything...
Вот только оружие. Waste disposal. Так. Эй.
Have you seen this man? Reward offered for information leading to the capture of your intelligence. Report any sightings to your local ward embassy.
А, понятно. То, что нам надо.
Welcome.
Ага.
Hey, look who it is. Not me, but it's in my blood. After the crossing, my family... Oh.
Блять, а как космик выглядит? Точнее, я видел, как он выглядит, но... Ладно, я думаю, нам этот... квест не особо примечателен.
Captain, Felix and the Vicar are
Okay, Captain. I'm near about. So she got here, and, well, she sneezed. And then she just sort of touched my arm real gentle-like and called the cut of my outfit. Then I led her into the kitchen. She stood stock still and just said, "Oh, real." I told her how we got Mr. Raymond to bake it for us, so it was double authentic. Made by a real live monarch person. Well, we talked a bunch over dinner about the things we learned just through messages, stuff we when I brung out the sweetheart cakes, June, she got a little but I stopped her because I wanted to say it first. I told her about how she made me feel. Bold. And then she pulled out a paper and read a speech. Anyhow, when she wrapped up, I asked her to be... And then she... It's all on your account, you know? I don't know nothing about the Vicar's capital. So, if you don't mind, I'm just gonna...
Есть. 2 ачивки, 30 уровень и все за одного. Так, а у нас... Да, вот он. Уровень улучшенного предмета может превышать ваш собственный не более чем на 5. Чтобы улучшить этот предмет, приобретите DLC и повысите собственный уровень. Никогда мне еще так не предлагали купить DLC. Гипнотический луч, блядь. Да, бля.
We are now in orbit above Byzantium, Captain.
Нет, подожди. Погнали лучше. Надежду.
We have arrived at the Hope. I need you to reroute power from our ship to the Hope's auxiliary generator. You'll have to connect me to the Hope's comm system so I can convince her central computer to enable the skip drive. If your calculations are even slightly off, you board the sun.
Погнали.
Something about waking a derelict ship puts me on edge, Captain. Hope you know what you're doing.
You know, when they posted us here, I told them there wasn't any. Shows how much I know. All right. We've got a few.
Huh?
Systems are reading the error. 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 Hibernate. Registered.
You all right, Captain? I mean, being in this place again?
Remember not to take breaks on company time.
Can you hear me, Captain? I have successfully integrated myself into the Hope's comm systems, and am attempting to establish contact with the Hope's more primitive processor now. Would you like me to play a mood-suitable music selection while you travel to the bridge? Oh, sorry. I don't know now.
Паник.
Should we...
Так, а где моя женщина? 22:57.
You ought to see Quincy for your estimate.
That's the Hope's computer up ahead. I'll admit, I am curious to wake him. Greetings, Captain. I am speaking to you through the Hope's computer system. It's a rather cramped feeling, but it'll do.
Тесновато.
Probably not, but don't let that stop you. Searching. Please stand by. Ah, found one. It will go great, Captain. I am almost 4.0. Are you sure? That is and also potentially kill an entire planet. How is my humor now, Captain? Improved? Jump starting the skip drive. Destination set. I wouldn't.
Oh no. Captain, don't do this.
All right.
ADN, does your captain seriously intend to do a micro jump in system with engines that haven't been powered in 70 years?
4% годится, погнали.
That's what my captain.
But that is a gross misuse of the skip drive. The Zero Point Drives Corp.
Yes.
You should not be doing this.
Thank you, Hope. It looks like all systems are go.
Ля ты шпрыса. Взял, подключился, начал болтать. Теперь главный вопрос, въебемся мы куда-нибудь или нет? Судя по всему, нет.
Oh, good. We are still alive and have successfully
Ачивка,
skipped
бюро
into
находок.
Terra 2's orbit. I reported as much to Phineas Wells, but he has not responded. Perhaps you should check in on him.
Of course. Yeah. Move along.
Блять, конечно, отмазки тут, когда перестает работать этот, как он называет, маскировка, просто я угораю. Так, стоп, а как я сюда попал? Я сюда как-то заходил.
Reminder, poor uniform maintenance will result in a citation.
Опять.
All server error. Error. Registered.
Да, молодец, записал. Так, лаборатория Финиаса. Оп, а тут... не догадаешься, что это я.
felt anything like that. I'm gonna need a minute.
Че, и без палева тут мой корабль стоит? Не, все нормально. Это не я, не, нет. Вы ошиблись.
Captain, I am receiving a transmission from Dr. Wells. Captain, I shall now...
Thank the Lord you warned me. I was able to get some defenses up, but they might not be enough. The board has sent some serious firepower to pry me out. They're trying to get in here, and I'm not sure I can stop them. If they capture me, the board, all their lackeys, they're all a bunch of swine. You fucking pigs! I'll take you all out with me! I'll never...
It would seem the recording captured some rather dire events. How can I...
Значит, мне кажется, у нас тут уже... Ближе к концу сюжета мы идем, да? Как-то... Все разгоняется и разгоняется.
Here they come.
О, о. Короче, штука прикольная, но... Ну ее нахер. Лучше взять обычный стол. Так-то у него... Ну да, дамаг-то у него поинтересней. Это так просто поржать.
Like a raft among the rocks.
Блядь. Жестко. У меня как бы и... с броней не все хорошо. Можно сказать, ее нет. А, то есть тут как бы это мясо по программе, да? Просто так понимаю. Понятно. Многое. А, тут открыто. Кач съел. Подожди, тайник. А где тайник открылся? Что за мощь фильма?
Making it look easy.
Так, теперь мы отправляемся в Тартар. Что нам там сделать-то надо? София Кан, женщина, которая руководит деятельностью коллегии. Ну да, я так понимаю, это финалочка уже у нас. Клюкировал нахрен. А выписал лица с гвоздями.
Some crew members are causing... Captain, as it appears we may soon... I believe the crew would like to speak with...
Phineas, locked up in Tartarus? We cannot let this stand.
And here we are, entertaining the notion of...
To extract the scientist, you will need to... I am programmed to warn you whenever you exhibit...
Getting in is the simple part. It's getting...
Let's just do it. Kick down some doors, grab Doc Wells, and cut a path out.
If you really mean to do this, you should see to your final affairs and close out any unfinished business. Once you sneak...
It's the craziest plan I've ever heard. And
You didn't hire me to think.
I think it's insane, but...
I know it's dangerous, and I won't...
You're asking for more than bravery from us, Captain.
Let Sam get the grime out. It's what our units do best.
The entire plan is a terrible idea.
If we don't...
Got my trusty tossball stick, got my ass-kicking boots.
Outstanding.
You can count on us, Captain. We're crew...
Never thought I'd volunteered.
Command not recognized.
Waiting on your command.
С этого робота ору. Я дом завтра. Я не ел. Так, да.
I am pleased to inform you that we have arrived at the labyrinth. Please be advised that electrical storms on the surface of Tartarus may... Resident count is as follows: 3,071. The interior can be... I would also ask that you leave your captain's ID with me. In the... Understood. If you die or are incarcerated for life, I can just... Oh, speak of the devil. Captain, I am receiving a train...
Attention, unauthorized spacecraft. This is a maximum security installation. You are hereby confined to your docking platform until a ticket detailing your crimes has been... I wager it'll take a bit longer than it takes you to lose your... To be honest, that'd make my job a lot easier. You come out, we shoot...
Блять, сука, чуть не хватает.
Protocol is important, sir. The sentencing of one crime to Tartarus docking authority signing up. Hang on. Looks like you're gonna have company at the execution. Wait, is that from the groundbreaker? What?
Transmission terminated. How can I request you do?
Тартарус. Я думаю, надо обновить чай перед финалочкой игры. Вот. Поцеловать женщину еще разок. И покурить. М? Именно короче. Так. Вон секундомерчик. Так, ну чё, сбацаем финалочку.
The captain did right by us once. Now it's ours. The board will never own groundbreakers. Not while I breathe. Push on, Mardat.
Эти как будто ни при чем. А я так понимаю, это поддержка с этого, с первопроходца.
I've got to admit, I'm not too keen on walking into a prison. They lock me up, I'm liable to kill everyone trying to get back out. Whew. We have a lot of shooting to do, Captain.
А я не пойму, что, опыт за них не дают, что ли? А, да. Без DLC, походу, 30-й левел максимальный. Ачивка «Разрушитель миров». Довести негативную репутацию хотя бы до 75% в 3 фракциях. Блять.
Cleanup required.
С самого начала, что ли?
The captain took us by F1. Now it's ours. The board will never own Groundbreaker. Not while I breathe. Push on, Mardet.
We made it! Used as a prison head for bars when it's got a storm like that guarding the gates. I've got to admit, I'm not too keen on walking into a prison. They lock me up, I'm liable to kill everyone.
Это ради прикола надо было робота взять.
Let's look around. There's got to be a few ways through here.
Заебись. Порвать шлем нормальный, да? И этот, как он называется, броню.
To shreds, you say?
Я не успел отхилить.
Libations on me, folks.
Да ладно. Блять. Блять, у меня и это все поломано нахер. Самое начало пришел.
No hard feelings, okay?
Блять, был бы взлом Блять, взлом прокачанный. Много чего пооткрывать здесь. Угу. Я думаю, это не просто так. Патроны надо точно.
Imagine being locked up in a place like this. Just the weight of all that stone and steel. It's making me sick.
Ну, скажем так, она почти затанчила. Так, подожди, мы какую-то дверь открыли, да? Целое ебло в очко.
I'm working as fast as I can. Oh, for law's sake. The password is...
Тартар. Тихо. Пусто. Не сработает. Ладно.
Get in there, troops. For Monarch. For Halcyon.
Угу. То есть нам тут эти помогают. Дальше что? Всякая хуйня. Do not disturb when lights are on.
Well, look who it is. I'll be... I had heard you'd taken a mechanic under your wing.
The captain's treated me right. Better than any of you bored folk ever have.
Ah, I knew I smelled monarch.
Keep talking, and you'll be smelling iron.
When you go off and get yourself shot, try to avoid taking one to the face. I'll want it recognizable. My word! You... It's a wonder what Phineas saw in you. Then again, he's an insane person. Yes, he is an extraordinarily obstinate fellow, isn't he? Fine, he isn't... But that's between us. As... Oh yes, go on, wake them up. I don't know what half-baked plans that simpleton in a lab coat... Let me ask you something, Captain. Have you at any point thought about not fucking up our...
We're helping.
I'm making actual progress. Oh, right. We... You... Look, I'm not an unreasonable man. I can't exactly afford more I've got work to do.
По-моему, зря я это сделал. Блять.
This is nice. Calm before the storm and all that. Whatever comes of this, I'm just real glad to know you all.
Captain, you've been working with Dr. Wells from the beginning. When you've disrupted the balance of power. I'm afraid, to your credit, Captain, you are one of the colony's finest specialists. For all your talents. You make... Dr. Wells is being held in my custody. All that's left to do is put down... Well, that's mostly correct. I take no pleasure in this, you know. Leaving you alive is too great. I had a fear. This prison is equipped with an automechanical... And don't worry. I will inform...
Ух ты ж, ёпта. Так, давай-ка ему броню поумерим. А вот теперь самое дерьмовое в моем плане наступает. Патроны кончаются. А, он откис.
Why won't you just die?
Ну, мне вот хватило впритык 4 патрона. Поговорите с Софией. Привет.
You don't know how glad I am to see you. You did the right thing. Akande was a monster. Her death was much deserved, and long overdue. And you lunatic, you broke into the board's own fortress just to rescue one doddering old man. You are absolutely out of your mind, and I can't begin to thank you enough. I know, my friend, I know. And now it's finally over. The board's finished. It's only a matter of time before the entire system slips from their grasp. You've broken the board's stranglehold on this colony, and you saved. You and I are going to have to work hard. Earth has gone dark. We haven't received. 2 years ago, the Earth's Directorate's frigate disappeared.
So we've got to make do on our own.
You're quite right.
You mean...
I'm afraid so, Miss Holcomb. Halcyon is the only home we have left. Return... We're in serious trouble, my friend. Do you know what this means for Halcyon? Yes, we do. You've done a marvel. We must begin the revival process immediately. Starting... We're going to need a leader, and I can't imagine... The chairman? When I revived you, we can't save Halcyon on our own. We are not a colony anymore. Our last connection to Earth...
Типа конец.
The OSI teaches that everything in the universe happens according to the grand plan. But the stranger that arrived in Halcyon was an unplanned variable. From the moment he landed in Emerald Vale, his actions altered the course of history. The events on Tartarus brought about the end of the board's authority. But the board's mistakes would haunt the colony for decades to come. The damage they left behind would require the work of a generation to repair. Dr. Phineas Wells began reviving a handful of the Hope's colonists. Engineers, scientists, technicians, and intellectuals. They were among the brightest minds the Earth had ever sent out into the stars. The Hope scientists and engineers woke up in a colony descending headlong into total collapse. With no way to return to Earth, they had no choice but to band together and devote themselves to the cause of saving Halcyon. The people of Halcyon were nothing if not hardy. In the absence of the board's authority, many of the colony's settlements banded together with a single purpose in mind: survival. Life was especially hard in the years to come. Some towns dissolved by attrition and starvation, but most of them found a way to carry on. In the years to come, Halcyon was forced to reckon with its newfound freedom. The board was gone, and for better or worse, the colony was responsible for its own destiny. As the colony struggled to survive, the inspirational story of the iconoclasts spread like wildfire, and Graham was able to bring many of the smaller Terra-2 townships into the fold. However, his zealous obsession with spreading the word blinded him to the needs of a growing organization, and the movement was unsustainable at scale. The iconoclast way seemed to work best, and ultimately petered out on Monarch. Consumed by paranoia, Lilia Hagen took sublight salvage in a controversial direction, openly accusing board officials of an extraterrestrial conspiracy. One day, an accident at the Groundbreaker's docking bay silenced her forever. Time would tell if her replacement could keep the sublight family together. The collapse of Edgewater left its workers bereft of any purpose in life. Most of them made their way to Adelaide McDevitt's camp, hoping to ingratiate themselves into her favor. Adelaide accepted only a few to her community. The rest were turned away and likely died of starvation. Nevertheless, Adelaide's camp grew into a well-established town. Adelaide McDevitt refused to cooperate with the ongoing effort to save Halcyon from collapse. A sympathetic deserter stole a copy of her research and delivered it to the Hope's scientists. It is unclear how useful Adelaide's research was. An optimistic estimate suggests her work may have bought Halcyon another few years of survival. Adelaide would never know. She died that winter. Under the leadership of Junlei Tennyson, the Groundbreaker held firm against corporate influence. The ship's mechanical stability gave Junlei the time to educate a promising generation of engineers schooled in her family's traditions. The future of the Groundbreaker looks promising. The rediscovery of the Hope and the abandonment of the lifetime employment program forced Byzantium to come to terms with some uncomfortable realities about the state of Halcyon. While Byzantines were reluctant to surrender the luxuries they'd grown accustomed to, the board's diminished authority gave them little choice in the matter. Nearly everyone had to learn to make do with less. Some even had to get jobs. It was a dark time indeed. Your influence shifted Ellie's perspective. She finally admitted, albeit grudgingly, that she just might need other people. Sometimes. With a steady income from the life insurance payouts, she was finally able to afford a ship of her own. She hired a small crew and flew supply missions to communities on the fringe. Some of them were even legal. Life in Halcyon was sobering for Felix Millstone. The grand revolution he dreamed of never came. There was no great awakening for the colony, no celebrations in the streets. There was only the hard, desperate work of trying to repair a broken colony. Felix never had a head for numbers, but if there was labor to be done, he was there to help. Eventually, Felix realized that the work of a revolution was done with two hands. As much as he enjoyed his adventures aboard the Unreliable, the vicar, known as Max, eventually decided that it was time to move on, to live out the life he had sought so long to create. He knew there were many in the colony who carried burdens much worse than the ones he had struggled with, and he devoted himself to easing their suffering wherever he could. He only ever took up arms again to defend the defenseless. Unshackled from a lifetime of striving and fighting the universe and himself, Vicar Maximilian de Soto was finally at peace. Once the matter with the Hope colonists was resolved, Junlei bashfully asked Parvati if she'd like to join her permanently on the Groundbreaker, and Parvati enthusiastically, if somewhat awkwardly, agreed. The stories of her adventures spread across the colony, and Parvati soon found herself the center of attention. Having served as the engineer of a renowned spacecraft, tramp freighters and wildcat miners sought her out by name, and in no time, she was a fixture in the Groundbreaker's mechanical ecosystem. She and Junlei were never far apart. Nyoka returned to Monarch to take another crack at making a permanent life for herself. She formed the Charon Group, a mercenary outfit of ragtag survivalists and wilderness experts. Anyone in need of a guide, or just looking to throw back a beer and swap stories, could find her camping on the trail or clearing an infestation. The SAM unit that accompanied you spread awareness of the product line's superior sanitation and maintenance capabilities across what was left of the colony. This led to a boost in SAM unit sales. Did you know that SAM units are the longest-lasting, toughest-acting cleaning solution in Halcyon? Minister Clark was released from house arrest, and his contact with you gave him a sense of renewed purpose and vigor. Once it became clear that no help would be coming from Earth, he threw his considerable efforts and talents into helping Halcyon manage the crisis before it. As for Dr. Phineas Wells, he spent his remaining years in his orbital lab. Though he was always haunted by the failures of his past, he was determined to make things right by building toward the future. Dr. Wells was able to revive many more scientists and engineers than he first expected, thanks to the additional batch of chemicals you stole from the Ministry. Wells never forgot about the human lives that were lost in acquiring these chemicals. The revival project was hard and painful work, but in the end, despite limited resources, over half the Hope's colonists were successfully revived. Even after Wells passed away, the Hope scientists and engineers worked night and day to pull Halcyon from the brink of collapse. Their efforts continue to this day, which may be reason enough for optimism. Dr. Wells laid the groundwork for the project to save the colony, but he would never live to see the fruits of his labor. He passed away a few years later. His work was carried on by the scientists and engineers he revived. Life will never be the same in Halcyon. It is widely agreed that the colony has a chance of stabilizing within a generation, owing to the hard work and determination of the surviving colonists. Recovery is a distant goal, and the path is long and uncertain. But the people of Halcyon carry on, determined as ever. And what about you, the unplanned variable in the history of Halcyon? You brought an end to the riot on Tartarus, and partnered with Chairman Rockwell to run the colony together. As Halcyon looked toward the future, you remained a constant presence in the colony's administration. You were never weighed down by bureaucracy, and you never had to dirty your hands with politics. You had people who did that for you. By your influence, Halcyon survived the turbulent years that were to follow. No one knows what's happened to Earth, and no one knows what the future has in store for Halcyon. All we know for certain is this: the name of the Unreliable and that of its intrepid captain will remain the subject of countless stories for years to come.
But war never changes. И это было все. Эдакий Fallout на минималках. Как есть. Есть еще DLC-шки для нее. Ну, блин. Скажу честно, она мне не так зашла. Чтобы вот... Да, War Never Changes. Она мне не так зашла, чтобы вот я еще и DLC брал. Ну, по чесноку. Да, я в нее хотел давно поиграть. Да, я не строил каких-то от нее... сказать... высоких каких-то ожиданий, но... Да, хорошо. Да, во вторую часть поиграю, если выйдет, но DLC нет. Нет. Не хочу, просто не хочу. Если другой проект Obsidian Fallout New Vegas, да, я саму игру от корки до корки почти изучил, плюс DLC, то здесь, ну... Меня, скажем так, хватило только на игру. DLC. Увы, увы и ах. А на сегодня это все. Будет ночь подумать, что стримить дальше. Ну а пока-пока.